It's time for the Nebraska Football Coaches Show.
Keelan Smith, the motion man from left to right. Snap, quick screen near left, leaping catch from Hunter, leaks through, breaks an ankle tackle. There he goes, Hunter, 40, 35, 30. Hunter, all the way. Full wide, trips right. We're out of the gun. Paralysis snap, play action, fake. Backside pressure comes, ball stripped. It's picked up. Winery at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Scoop and score. Touchdown, Huskers!
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome in for the first time this year, Nebraska Football Coaches Show. I'm Kyle Crooks as we get set to start a new season on September 5th. And with that, to intro a new season, the head football coach of your Nebraska Cornhuskers, that is Matt Rule, joins us here in studio. Coach, it is so good to see you. Of course, seen you around the facility and around camp, but we're here, right? We're about to kick this thing off.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate you coming to practice as much as you do and Jessica does. The guys have worked hard. I think it's always good to see the people who do such a great job, bringing our team to Husker Nation, and excited to be here. We had a concert this past weekend. We know because they've been taking up a lot of space on Stadium Drive, but it's one of your favorite bands, right? Because I didn't get a chance to go to the concert. Did you get a chance to at least see a little bit of it with the craziness of football? Yeah, we finished our scrimmage Saturday, so we went at 11 o'clock in the morning. Had a good scrimmage, 110 plays. Guys tackled well, played well, and then spent the afternoon with the coaches grading, and then was able to sneak up and hear a little bit. The concert kind of went all day. I think it started around 5 and went till about midnight. So, didn't stay for the whole thing. But Turnpike Troubadours is a band that I really enjoy and respect, and so had a chance to hear them a little bit. Really cool to see what the athletic department, the university is doing for the community. Just constantly using Memorial Stadium for Savannah Bananas, for Zach Bryan, for this concert. So got a chance to hear a little bit of it, but we're in the season mode right now, so it's all football.
What else is on your playlist nowadays? Because you're still getting the workouts in. You're looking good. Corey, are you working out in the mornings with Corey? Do you have a playlist going?
Yeah, I come in. Usually Corey's in there before me, so he's got rap and hip hop going, and when it's my time, I alternate between. I have a gospel playlist I play a lot of days, and then I have a country playlist. So, and that'll be everything from modern guys, Morgan Wallen and Ella Langley to Turnpike and some red dirt country. So I try to mix it up. Every once in a while there'll be a little 90s hip hop. The music I was listening to. Getting ready to go play in games in high school and college. So. But I don't do it while Corey's working out. He's doing a way different workout than I'm doing.
Let me ask you too, because you stole our radio partner, Damon Benning, we've said it and you've said it on the podium, perfect fit for what you're asking him to do within this program. I know he's had interest the last couple of years of being a part of what you're doing. He's a believer of what you're doing. And you just see the way he interacts with the players, even before he got into this position. He knows the players. Caleb's on the team, but how about Damon Benning being the director of player development and just helping these guys on a personal basis, whether it's media training or just life training?
Yeah, I got a chance to meet Damon. We leave every practice, everything that we do is always open to former players. And so I think I first met Damon kind of as a former player, and then obviously in a role helping you guys with the Husker Radio Network, and interviewed me a couple times for HERDAT. And I don't hire people based on friendship or anything, but you're always trying to find people whose ethos is similar to yours. And he's a guy, when I talk to him, doesn't get focused on the wrong things. He focuses on what I believe are the right things. He's got a very pragmatic mindset. It's always about just taking a step forward. We all want progress, but progress is usually made up of a lot of small inches, and he's a guy who does that. And I think about that role, player development, and what it means today. We have a great life skills department here, headed by Keith Zimmer for a long time. We have a great athletic academic division headed by Dennis LeBlanc. I wanted a mentor. I wanted somebody who could pour into the lives of young people, but also speak the truth. Who could help pull them through the things they don't want to go through. And you look at Damon. He obviously played here, played professionally. He's a coach. He's done the media, so he has that part, which is a big part of being a college athlete these days. And he's a parent of a player. And so whether it's interacting with our parents, whether it's interacting alongside Jay Foreman, who handles all of our former Huskers, in terms of welcoming them to practice or staying in touch with guys, whether it's dealing with the pros. Ed Foley's our pro liaison, but, scouts are there dealing with them. But mainly I wanted someone who could speak life and speak truth to players, tell them the things that they don't always want to hear, but that they need to hear, and also listen. And so I thought he was a perfect fit, and I knew he was someone who we share common beliefs. Love his family, so it was just something that I wanted to do. They have this rule, individuals associated with with a prospect, IAWP. So you can't hire someone to work in the athletic department whose family members on the team for 2 years. So, obviously Caleb's here. Caleb's done a really nice job for us, and so his 2 years were up. Gus Felder did a great job in this role. He left for an athletic director's job, and Damon was a perfect fit.
Yeah, and he has the perfect tone to sometimes deliver what has to be tough messages, which is he's a great fit. I saw this picture the other day, and I said to myself, it's probably a sense of pride for Coach, but the Bucs played the Chiefs in an NFL preseason game. There were 7 former Huskers on the field. Ty Robinson had a couple sacks the other day. When we talk about development on, life skills, all those things, but on the field as well, when you see the guys going pro and making plays and making waves at the next level, what was your sense of pride when maybe you see a picture the other night after the Bucs-Chiefs game?
Well, I think, first of all, I love and care about those guys, especially the guys that were here when we first got here. Obviously Scott did a great job bringing those guys here. And, you can add Fedoni had a great game the other day. Emmett's been having good games, so I've seen the things that they've gone through. I was there when, Johnny Bullock was thinking about not coming back for his 5th year and going and getting a job, and now seeing what he's done, right? And so, I think it's a mix of pride of what they've done, and development's different nowadays. Like, you have to keep people around long enough to develop them. I love Nate Borkacher. I still talk to, him. He was at the Senior Bowl. He was wearing a Nebraska T-shirt, but in the world that we're in now, you only have certain money to pay certain guys, and you guys have to make decisions. We feel like we developed Prince Will Umamielen, and he went off to Ole Miss and had 5.5 sacks. He did a great job. He's now at LSU. Nate went off, had a good year at Texas A&M, got drafted. So anybody that's played for me, whether they stay here or they go somewhere else, these aren't, hey, I like Nebraska, I don't like Nebraska. These are life, vision, financial decisions. But what's special about those guys is they did stay. They were here, and I try to keep up with, all of those guys, whether they're selling insurance or working in the business world. Whether Alex Bullock, he came down to visit us the other day. He's gonna start coaching. He's coaching at Creighton Prep and thinking about being a college coach. To me, I want to be a part of their lives forever. But proud of those guys. You think about Nash. How that decision to go back and wrestle. He had this undefeated record in high school and hadn't wrestled, and went and did it for Nebraska, did it for the team. And then he gets to Tampa Bay and they say, hey, we want to move you to offense. A lot of guys wouldn't be able to handle that transition, but, he has such great parents, such a great family. He's such a great dude that maybe doing that in college prepared him for this. So great pride in them. I think great job by our people in our building to develop them to get them to that point. And think about Jaylen Wright, seeing him out there, right? Sitting there with him as he, teared up and, found out that his life had changed with a blood clot. And here he is playing now in the National Football League. So proud of all those things. I got a text from Emmett yesterday. We call it the X Factor, 5 points of ball security. We go across the goal line, and he sent me a picture of him doing that in the game. He's like, just like you guys taught me, and send a nice note like, hey, coach, don't ever change. Don't let this program change. Like, the things I'm being taught here under Andy Reid and here are exactly what you guys taught us, the way we practice, the way we do things. And, we don't necessarily need that affirmation. We're going to do what we think is right. But them having the gratitude to say things like that and do things like that, I think is what you really want out of college athletics. And so happy for them, happy to see them all playing. And, I know there's a lot of college teams trying to go get NFL players. I'd love to have a few of them back. They were really good for us, but happy for all of them.
Jaylen Wright is such a good story. There's so many great stories in college athletics, and you mentioned sort of the craziness of college now, but we sometimes get lost those stories of just perseverance, right? Jaylen Wright has the blood clots, goes through the health situations. Emmett Johnson, his perseverance and patience and what it took eventually to have. He was the best running back in the Big Ten, if not the country, last year. Do you preach those stories continuously, even through camp and meetings about like, hey, look at what Emmett's doing. Look at the perseverance of Jaylen Wright. This is what we build in this program.
Well, I think it's just all young people, right? They have goals and they want to get there, but you can only get there one day, one step, one rep at a time. And so the key is just to make sure you're making progress. If I leave Lincoln and I get on 80 West and I say, hey, I want to go to Omaha, no matter how fast I drive, no matter how much I want to get to Omaha, I'm headed in the wrong direction. So to me, it's always like teaching young people, are you headed in the right direction? Even if it's going slow, you're better walking to Omaha on 80 East than you are speeding to Omaha on 80 West. And so just make sure you're on the right path. And so I think the thing for our young players is sometimes you see what they're going to be, and you're coaching them to that. And they don't really have a feel for that. They only see where they are. And so trying to speak life into them, and that's, again, talking about Damon, talking about people like that, you have to go through some of these hard times to get there in a world now where, if a guy's unhappy or if a guy's, not confident or stressed out, he can just leave and go somewhere else. And there's a time to do that, don't get me wrong. But I just want to make sure they understand, there's no shortcuts. There's no easy way to do this. And so it's not necessarily just about our program. It's just really life. If you want to be great at something, just try to be great every day. And eventually you look back one day and you're an overnight success to the world, but you remember the grind you went through. I remember Emmett, hey, should I leave? Should I stay? What should I do? Am I going to play ever? Well, he's playing now. And so it's fun to see.
And it's just football is a good message for life as a whole, and especially how tough fall camp is and getting through the grind of that. It's kind of a correlation to how life is. And we'll get into more on that. And if you don't mind, we'll talk more about your team here coming up here in the second segment. So Matt Rule here with us on the Nebraska Football Coaches Show, here with the head coach, Matt Rule. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Huskers. Also, the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs Equipment, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, providing the equipment, parts, and service that keep agriculture moving forward. Akrs Equipment, proud partner of Husker Nation. Learn more at akrs.com. Back with more of the coach right after this.
Nebraska fans know what it means to show up, prepared, committed, and proud. With 118 years of experience, Aurora Cooperative brings that same mindset to your operation. We're in it for the long haul, working side by side with our farmer owners across the field, pastures, and beyond, helping power your operation to a winning season. Aurora Cooperative, agriculture elevated.
This is the commercial for Pioneer Seed Corn.
100 years ago, one seed changed everything. In 1926, Pioneer revolutionized farming with the first commercial production of hybrid corn, the one that started it all, the one that still turns heads, and the one that grows the future. This year, we celebrate a century of innovation, one big milestone made possible by one moment, one farmer, 100 seasons. See how it all began at pioneer.com/100.
There's no better way to celebrate America's 250th birthday than at a Husker football game. Be Memorial Stadium for the official America 250 celebration as the Huskers take on Bowling Green on Saturday, September 12th. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. and tickets start at just $50. To purchase your Husker football versus Bowling Green tickets, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers. Schedule a free inspection. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
At Woodhouse Hyundai, triple your down payment in a new 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE. Lease yours for just $264 per month. Put $2,000 down and we'll add another $4,000 on us. Plus, rest assured with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit WoodhouseHyundai.com or WoodhousePlaceHyundai.com today. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit, tax, title, license extra. First payment $299 doc fee and $650 acquisition fee due at signing. Stock number H260847. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Planning for the 2027 crop year starts now with 1 year of 0% financing from Central Valley Ag. Qualified customers can get 0% financing on seed and seed treatment through CVA's Go Early Seed program. 0% financing on crop protection, intensive soil sampling, and aerial application. Enroll by October 16th. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Kyle Crooks and Matt Rule back on the Nebraska Football Coaches Show as we get closer to another year. September 5th, we kick this thing off against Ohio here at Memorial Stadium. All right, fall camp. What have you learned about this team? I'm sure fans want to know just the outlook and what you've seen. You've put a lot of strain on these players and even coaches. You've kept them on their heels a little bit and how these practices are run. Just how do you feel overall with where you're at heading into the season?
I think they've done a really nice job. It's a much older team than we've had, a veteran team, both with guys who've been here with us and guys who came from other places, but there's a lot of guys who played a lot of college football out there and making sure it's not my way. It's not Coach Rule's way. It's not Rob's way. It's not Dana's way. It's not the players' way. It's just getting all of us coming from all these different places to do it our way. Do it the way we as Huskers do. And they've worked hard. I mean, there's no substitute for hard work. And so they've done that. I appreciate that. We've gotten a lot of situational football done. We've gotten a lot of tactical and technical stuff. So not just we don't just run into each other. Understanding the game and how to fit and the leverage and playing connected football. So so much of college football's changed. When I played, it was 2 days every day, and you kind of, it was a different kind of a grind. This has to be a little bit more of a mental grind. You have to excel in meetings. You have to excel in walkthroughs because you're limited so much. I mean, we're only allowed between fall camp, school starting, and the first week of practice, we're only allowed 9 days in full pads. 1 day in the acclimation period, and then 8 days after that. Like, that would be unheard of 20 years ago. So they've done a really nice job, as I said in the press conference last week, but now we have to take it to the games, right? We have to be a team that doesn't panic, doesn't get complacent, just gets better every week. And they did that during camp. We just have to carry it through.
How many of those sessions are you actually allowed to do live, so bringing guys down to the ground? Because you do thud for most of what you guys are doing. You only get 9 days in full pads. How much of that is actually live, like what you would see on a game day?
Yeah, I don't have the exact rules in front of me. It's like there's so many days you can be over 75% tackle. I think there's only 2 days you can have a live scrimmage. So, I know when a lot of us played, it was, you could kind of scrimmage whenever you want. But you can have some live periods here and there. But it's kind of hard to tackle when there's, no, not full pads on. So you're really kind of limited to 9 days of something live, but only 2 full live scrimmages. A lot of people have gotten away from live scrimmages. As I talk to my friends around the country, a lot of them are trying to get back to it, because there's really no substitute for callousing your body. And so, but our guys, no matter what it is, whether it's a walkthrough or a live scrimmage, they've embraced it. Yesterday, our first Tuesday practice in the season, which is kind of your toughest day of the week. I thought the guys, they attacked it and wanted more, which was a really good sign.
Anthony Calandria, I've heard a lot about his ability to process and how quickly he's been able to learn Dana's offense. Is that impressed you? What's impressed you the most about maybe the quarterback coming in here and the whole quarterback room as a whole, TJ and Danny?
Yeah, I think the thing with Anthony, and again, he's played a lot of football. It's his third place playing, so he's been in different systems. You got a guy in Glenn Thomas that's been the quarterback coach for the Falcons, been the quarterback coach. He's worked at the Ravens, worked at the Steelers, been an OC. So you have him, you have Dana, you have me really talking more about situational football. And I think the biggest thing that I've seen from Anthony that I really respect is he can take all that coaching, he can adjust to the system and the nuances of what we do, but it doesn't let it change him. And I think that's what you want. You want players who bring themselves to the X's and O's, not who change them, not who do their own thing. But he's a gunslinger, man. He's a baller. Like, he wants to go make plays. He's not there just to, hand the ball off or just accept plays. That he's going to try to make a play every play. At the same time, being disciplined and going through his process. And so, he hasn't let it change him. What makes him great, he retains, but he's very coachable. He's always trying to get better. I've really enjoyed being around him. He's the kind of player that I want to be around. And I think that's kind of the coolest thing you can say about a player. It's like, hey, I love being around this guy. Not just watching him. Everyone loves you when you're scoring touchdowns, but I like being around him at practice. I like being around him in the lunchroom. Like, he just has a special it to him that I think makes teams better.
There's a fire and a swag. I know swag's kind of an overused term, but that definitely applies to Anthony. I'm interested in football in general and training camp. You have position battles. How hard is it? A lot of people talk about running back, who's the starting running back, this, that, and the other. But how do you make sure that you have a healthy competition, but also the chemistry is still there, right? Because guys are fighting for jobs, but it's reliant upon the culture to still have a foundation that, hey, I have a friendship with this guy, but we're still fighting for that top job. How do you maybe balance that as a coach when you understand these guys are fighting for reps and playing time?
Yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, winning comes first and the team comes first. And that's kind of a basic non-negotiable. I'm sure when people hear that, like, yeah, no duh, but it doesn't happen everywhere, right? So I think you have to treat the brotherhood and the respect on the team as well as you do the physicality or the execution. And TJ played really well for us last year. Went into Iowa, got hurt, was out there, couldn't even run, and just continued to battle. I respect him so much. And you bring in an older player. And you're not saying, hey, this player's better than you. You're just saying this guy's got more experience, right? And, my message to TJ, my message to Emmett was, your time will come. Winners win. Your time will come. And either you'll be ready or you won't. So while you're out there every day at practice and you're competing to be on the field and, be the starter, you should compete for that. That's what you want. You're also striving to make yourself the best version of yourself. And so, in the Big Ten that we play in and the weather that we play in, the travel we play in, just college football in general, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was 11 games. Now it's 12. Now it's conference championship 13. Now it's playoffs. Teams are playing 16, 17 games. You're going to need a lot of guys. There's no more red shirts as a result. And so going out there every single day and not just competing against the guys at your position, but competing against yourself. And really for the best ones, not even competing at the guys at your position. Like Emmett was competing against the kid at Notre Dame and the kid, I want to be the best in the country. Like, that relentless mindset, that's what the guys I've had a chance to coach, the best, like the Christian McCaffreys, the Stephon Gilmores, the Hassan Reddicks, and their goals were so high that, like, they didn't see anybody else, right? So, but we also want to foster that brotherhood of, can I be truly happy when someone at my position does something to help the team, has success? Can I truly be happy? And that means we have to take time to, talk about our lives, talk about where we've been, talk about we have to get to know each other. And this generation is the most unconnected interpersonally. And so we have to connect them personally. They're connected very much digitally, which is great, but it can be very surface at times, like truly, like having friends that you can call your brothers. And so not everyone's going to be friends, but we all have to appreciate each other. And I think we've had our coaches get up and talk about the heartbreak in their life, the hopes they have in their life. We've had players do it. They do it with each other. But at the end of the day, like, just can't tolerate if there's someone who's selfish. You have to cut that out. And I've been really pleased with our team. There's not been any one guy on this team who's trying to make the team about them. And as a coach, that's what you want. And so I've been very appreciative of it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's just easier said than done, that maybe has to be done in meeting rooms and culture, and that happens over time. So that's a great perspective there. Let's just talk about in general at the lines of scrimmage. It's a big group. Corey put these guys through the ringer during the summer. We had a chance to have Corey here in studio just talk about the process, about where you guys are at both lines of scrimmage, offense and defense.
And Corey's done a great job. His staff's done a great job. I always lump in with them also, though, Drew and the medicals team, because, this is a game of getting beat up. But I especially have to always shout out Kristen Coggin. I mean, the job that our performance nutrition team does. I mean, we have a different dietitian. We have 7 dietitians for football. No one else has that. And they're associated with each position. So I think, when you can get what we have, whether it's not like siloed, where like your strength coaches work with your nutritionist, man, great things can happen. But I've been really pleased with both the coaching on the offensive and defensive lines. Those are the areas that I made my career in as an assistant coach. I was a defensive line coach. I was an offensive line coach, which is unusual, but kind of the way, my path went. And when I watch Jeep, when I watch Lonnie, when I watch Corey, when I watch, when I watch Roy, they're so consistent with their messages that the players, there is no gray area, and I love it. And there's a lot of competition in that room. Any one day, different guys could walk out as the starters, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, especially on defense where you want to rotate guys. And we've had good competition on the offensive line. Young guys like Preston Tamua have really come on. Gunnar Gatula coming back from injury. He's clearly a starter for us and a really good player. And he's had the chance to really build his body up so he can stay healthy. But he's a strong man too, not just a big man. He's big and strong. And I think you have the key leadership you want. You have Justin Evans, who is really kind of the heartbeat of that offensive line, and he's been here. He's been through 3 head coaches. He's been through 2 offensive line coaches. He's been through different systems. And through it all, he's remained a tough guy and loyal. And then on defense, you have the Riley Van Poppels, you have the guys who've been here, and then we've added in great leaders. A guy like Anthony Jones, who's been places and seen it. Owen Stoudemeyer, got his degree from Boston College, is going to go back and probably get his PhD when he's done playing football. And then, Jasir Whittington to me has been a guy that's like an absolute, tone changer. We took him out of the portal because his tape was elite. And everyone's like, is he big enough? Is he big enough? Well, all he's done is gotten here and gotten big and strong, but still kept his athleticism. So there's a lot of guys there that set the tone, either with their words or with their actions or both. And so I love the coaching, I love the leadership, and I love the development.
You want to talk about fire, Jasir. Just watch him out at practice. That dude brings it. Get ahead with Central Valley Ag's Go Early Seed program. Qualified customers can receive 1 year of 0% financing on seed and more. Enroll by October 16th at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. We'll have our Alumni Hall Spotlight. We'll finish up final segment with Coach Riley Van Poppel in the final segment of the show. That's all coming up next.
Sports Nightly is powered by McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal. Since 1981, Nebraska homeowners and businesses have trusted McInnes for roofing, siding, windows, gutters, custom sheet metal, and repairs. Whether you're protecting your home, improving curb appeal, or planning a commercial project, their experienced team delivers quality craftsmanship and dependable service from start to finish. When your property needs expert care, choose the local name Nebraska has trusted for more than 45 years. And now, the official roofing partner of the Huskers. Discover the McInnes difference at McInnesinc.com.
Nebraska fans know what it means to show up, prepared, committed, and proud. With 118 years of experience, Aurora Cooperative brings that same mindset to your operation. We're in it for the long haul, working side by side with our farmer owners across the field, pastures, and beyond, helping power your operation to a winning season. Aurora Cooperative, agriculture elevated.
Planning for the 2027 crop year starts now with 1 year of 0% financing from Central Valley Ag. Qualified customers can get 0% financing on seed and seed treatment through CVA's Go Early Seed program. 0% financing on crop protection, intensive soil sampling, and aerial application. Enroll by October 16th. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
Drive into summer during the Woodhouse Ford Summer Sales Event. From family road trips to tackling the toughest jobs, a new Ford is ready for every mile ahead. For a limited time, receive $1,000 bonus cash plus a 2-year premium maintenance plan on select 2026 Ford models. Browse our inventory online or visit us in store in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. 2-year premium maintenance plan includes 2 free oil changes. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Technology isn't just a part of your business, it is your business. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we believe that the right technology tools make all the difference. From seamless phone systems to secure cloud solutions, we empower Nebraska businesses to stay connected, protected, and ahead of the competition. Your technology isn't an afterthought, it's your competitive edge. Let the official business IT partner of the Huskers show you how technology helps drive business success. Technology is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Welcome back to the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. Kyle Crooks and Matt Rule. Now it's time for the Alumni Hall Spotlight, your ultimate Husker shopping experience at Alumni Hall. Get game day ready at Alumni Hall on P Street, alumnihall.com, or follow them on social. We'll spotlight a name that, well, everybody knows here around town. And Josh, take it away.
Freeman White splitting off on the right side as Bob Churchich calls the signals off the unbalanced line. Hands it off to Frankie Solich. Breaks over right tackle across the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Could go all the way. Down the sidelines to 30, 25, 20. Cuts back in. 10, 5. Touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. Frank Solich breaking over right tackle.
You know, starting out with Ohio to begin the year, the connection with Frank Solich, of course, was head coach here, head coach at Ohio. You hear the highlight. That was 1965 at Air Force, that touchdown run. A little old-timey radio for you, but you've had a chance to connect with Frank in your time here.
Yeah, I love Coach Solich. He's been unbelievably good to me. You know, come out to practice sometimes. There would be days I'd look over and like Coach Darlington, Coach Osborne, Coach Solich were all out there watching us. A humble man, a good man. When I first got here, Trev and I kind of conspired to get Coach back, and I know that was obviously a big deal for him. I can't imagine the emotions he felt. Played for a national championship, and then 2 years later, he's not just fired, but sent away from his home. And as a younger coach, like, obviously the volatility of this profession, I've been coach of the year, I've been fired, seeing the respect and grace that he handles it with, I think is really, really, really impressive. And I remember, we had the event, Coach Alvarez was here, Coach Osborne, so many former players, Coach Coach Leopold from Kansas, Julie and I went and visited and seeing like the emotion with his wife. His daughter's still here in town. You know, I look at my daughters, right, and just think about, you know, they get to celebrate my good moments. They're there for me in my bad moments, and just how it's a family thing. And you know, the same place that he was asked to leave, and you know, he was a great running back coach, great head coach. You know, he's now coming back to be honored at. And so, it's such a great message. Never to let the current moment or the current opinion affect you, but let history judge you. I've learned so much from Coach, and him and I have a fun relationship too. You know, I was the offensive coordinator at Temple back when we were in the MAC East, and Ohio was our rival. And we were both the MAC East Co-Division champions. We were playing. The winner got to go play the MAC championship game, and we went out there. We played pretty good on offense, actually, but they kicked our tail. And so when I reminded him of that, he talks trash to me every time he sees me about it. I remind him that we beat him at home, and you know, I did win one game against Coach. I think it was 1-1 or maybe 1-2. I can't remember, but just a great man. I actually have some old tape, running back drill tape here. We keep a lot of old tapes. I got here. I went through all the old VCRs. I had them when they started doing the stadium. I had them go under the stadium and find all the old tape and save it. You know, so old clinics. You know, what an unbelievable thing. Watch Milt Tenniper, you know, talking about offensive line play, right? Like Charlie McBride. I mean, so just I have all this stuff, and but I have these old running back drills. Really pretty cool. And Coach is a legend, so it's an honor to have him on the field with us again. Yeah, and again, we'll be honored by the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. We'll get a special recognition on the Friday night ceremony before the game. But even the way, you know, George Darlington was at every single practice. And the connection, I see the connection with him and Jay Foreman and how they built that over time. And that never left, right? And you see that when you're out and you're coaching, you see Coach Darlington and Jay Foreman and that connection. That's something that I'm sure you look forward to down the line of these are relationships that never, ever leave. Oh, you're talking about with former players? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you asked about some of the guys here. Like, I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, you know, true coaches, especially like the old school coaches, like there's so much money in it now that, you know, some guys are in it for the money, but people that really care about young people and kids, you know, people ask us what our purpose is. I always say, like, you know, we want to make sure that the young people that, you know, the guys we have a chance to coach now, 10, 20, 30 years from now, say their life is better because they played for us, because they came to Nebraska. And, you know, you look at Jay, you look at Damon, you look at the former players here, like so many of them can say that. And it's guys like, you know, George and Coach Solich and Coach Osborne and so many more. But it's also the coaches that were here in years that maybe didn't go as well, right? Those, you know, I remember when I went to Baylor and we're in the middle of a scandal and everybody said, you're nuts. I said, you know what, even, you know, my first year we went 1-11, but guess what? Kids on 1-11 teams need coach too. None of that means we're not trying to win and win everything, right? I think that's the great message you're trying to teach them. Like, hey, you can go be great at football and also be great in school. Like the governor of our state came to the University of Nebraska and played football, was a starter here, was an all Big 8 player, and also got a degree in, you know, veterinary science. Like that's Nebraska to me. And so, you know, maybe we're old school, but we just don't want to give that up. We don't want all of our kids, you know, not getting real degrees. We want them to get an education. We want them to be part of the community, and hope that someday they'll have that relationship you mentioned, like Jay and like Coach, where like they're appreciative, their lives are better because they've been here. And you mentioned Coach Darlington. You know, his wife Sue came and saw me at one of the practices. We had a chance to visit. Like just how much, you know, not only did Coach Darlington mean on the field, right? Not only how much he meant, you know, to his players, but like, you know, he still was teaching his football class, would still come to me and, you know, watch the film and talk to me about what he saw the week before. Like just those are the moments I have cherished the most here, is with people like that are so caring and so giving. You know, he wasn't from here like me. You know, he wasn't from here, you know, came here, found a home here. It's kind of like Coach Solich, you know, eventually at one point was, hey, you need to leave, but came back because he found special people here. And we've met so many people here that are special to us, and Coach Solich, Coach Darlington, Jay Foreman, Damon Benning, Coach Osborne, many more. Yeah. There's a reverence to this place, not just because of the championships, but because of the people, as you outlined, for sure. I hate to make a sharp turn back to football, but I want to talk just a little bit about Rob Orich and how he's sort of put his fingerprints on this defense. How have you seen him interact with the guys in camp? Well, he's in it with them. You know, he's not just like a military-style dictator. He's a teacher first. He has high standards. He's going to demand them, but he's teaching them the how. You know, so he tells them, this is what I want from you. He's even willing to tell them why. I need you to do this because it'll do this. But he's focused on the how. And to me, always, how you do what you do is way more important than what you do. And so I think he and his staff are very connected. I believe defense is a connected position unit. It's, this great player, but like they can run away from that great player. So, we need to all play in relation to each other. It's not even just doing like, hey, coaches will say, do my 1/11th. No, I believe it a little differently. I think like 1 + 1 = 11. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and you can trust that I'm gonna do this. And that's why great defenses usually play together for a while. We haven't played together for a while. And so, we have guys coming in, we have new coaches, and I think he's done a great job of teaching them how to be connected, while also expecting our play style of playing fast, playing violent. He says simple, fast, and violent. There's not much about him that's simple. But he just teaches it in a way where the kids, the young guys in our program, we expect them to keep it simple in their own minds. And so he's done a really good job. He's going to have to, it'll be his first time in the conference. It'll be his first time, playing in Memorial Stadium. Some other places, like, third down, they look to the sidelines, you can yell the call out. You can't do that on defense here. It's going to be rocking. And so he's done a great job of really trying to anticipate the Big Ten and being in Memorial Stadium. I'm anxious for him to have a chance to get out there against Ohio. And what I see from him is he and his unit will grow and grow and grow every week.
It's funny is you bring that up about yelling out calls, and I always see how you try to recreate game day at practice. You say, coaches, you can't be yelling out there because when there's 90,000 people, you can't get that message across. So it's always working on those details of what a game day, trying to recreate what a game day is going to look like for your coaches. Yeah,
it's very simple. Everything we do is to deliver on 12 Saturdays, or in our case, 10 Saturdays and 2 Fridays, but 12 Saturdays, you want to deliver. You have to produce. And so everything you do, the weight room, the meetings, off-season program, it's all just to get you to be at your best for those days. And so the best thing we can do in practice is make sure that we're recreating what's going to happen in the game. So you don't ever want your players to walk into a situation where it's the first time they've ever done it. Now, it might happen sometimes. Something crazy might happen. And you can't teach them always what to think, but you can teach them how to think. But when it comes to crowd noise, no crowd noise. When it comes to different times on the clock, different scores, like we want to prepare them for all those things. And, if you think about it, college football players, they might go play somewhere for 2 years. They might come right from high school. They're used to the old way. We got to get them adjusted to our new way. Coaches are a lot harder. Coaches, they've been coaching for 20, 30 years, and they've done it this way. And then you get here, and it's very simple for me, like, hey, we just all have to be on the same page. It can be whatever way we need it to be, but once we decide on it. So, as you know, you've been in practice, I can be a little bit demanding about those things, but sure. I want to recreate the game. And if we can't yell out to a kid to remind him of his assignment at Oregon, at Michigan State, here versus Ohio, I certainly don't want to do it in practice. And so I think putting pressure on the coaches is really good too. I mean, you're going to be out there calling a game with the game on the line, step up, get some bass in your voice, have confidence, make the call, trust your players. I really believe great coaches let their players prove them right, don't prove them wrong. That's why people ask me, like, are you concerned about this position? Why? My job's to be intentional about every position, but I believe in our players. And the biggest challenge, you have in college football now is getting your players to believe in themselves and each other. And so I'm all in behind my players, all in behind my coaches. I'll stand up for them and fight for them, and I just want them to fight for each other, and I've loved what I've seen from our defensive staff in that regard.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming in. It's always good to see you. We'll see you out at practice.
Thank you very much.
Head coach Matt Rule back with Riley Van Poppel. That's next.
Sports Nightly is powered by McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal. Since 1981, Nebraska homeowners and businesses have trusted McInnes for roofing, siding, windows, gutters, custom sheet metal, and repairs. Whether you're protecting your home, improving curb appeal, or planning a commercial project, their experienced team delivers quality craftsmanship and dependable service from start to finish. When your property needs expert care, choose the local name Nebraska has trusted for more than 45 years. And now, the official roofing partner of the Huskers. Discover the McInnes difference at McInnesInc.com.
The next generation of Huskers starts now. Join the official Kids Club of Nebraska Athletics today to score access to select home games, a discount at the team store, and endless Husker spirit. Get the most of your membership by registering early. Go to huskers.com/kidsclub. Once again, huskers.com/kidsclub to get your membership today.
Go Big Red! Go Big Red!
Nebraska fans know what it means to show up, prepared, committed, and proud. With 118 years of experience, Aurora Cooperative brings that same mindset to your operation. We're in it for the long haul, working side by side with our farmer owners across the field, pastures, and beyond, helping power your operation to a winning season. Aurora Cooperative, agriculture elevated.
Nebraska. We're connected by more than fiber. We're connected by traditions, by hometown pride, by the sea of red on game day, by generations of fans who know what it means to cheer together. Allo is proud to be the connection behind those moments, bringing families together, keeping communities close, and helping Nebraskans stay connected to what truly matters. Allo Fiber, connecting what matters. Proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Planning for the 2027 crop year starts now with 1 year of 0% financing from Central Valley Ag. Qualified customers can get 0% financing on seed and seed treatment through CVA's Go Early Seed program. 0% financing on crop protection, intensive soil sampling, and aerial application. Enroll by October 16th. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Visit Woodhouse Toyota and drive into summer with incredible offers happening now. Lease the 2025 Toyota Tacoma SR Crew Cab for $399 per month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in store or online at woodhousetoyota.com today. Woodhouse Toyota, let's go places. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, security deposit waived, $2,000 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GT250151. Offer expires August 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Final segment of the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. Appreciate Matt Rule for joining us for the first three segments of the show. A lot of great stuff about how camp has been going, just relationship with players, how they continue to develop guys for the next level. We saw that great picture with the Bucs and the Chiefs. 7 total former Huskers playing in that preseason game the other day. Fans, contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. We also heard Coach talk about lines of scrimmage. Big part of that is the anchor in the middle of that four-man front, and that's Riley Van Poppel. He looks good physically. He's had a confident start to fall camp. Jessica Coody had a chance to catch up with Riley Van Poppel. Here's that chat.
Well, fall camp closed. You guys are moving more into the game week-like schedule, but overall, how'd you like how this team closed out fall camp?
I loved it. I mean, I think we closed out on a great note. This year, when looking back on it, I think personally camp went by really fast, fastest. And that was my 4th camp. I feel like that was the quickest one. But, maybe that's just because we were enjoying going through it. It's hard, but we're all there together. And I just loved the scrimmage on Saturday, how we came out and competed with how the team looked. And then, we kind of got yesterday off to relax, had a good walkthrough tonight, and then just back at it again tomorrow.
So I was going to ask you, why do you think it went so fast for you?
I don't know. Like I said, I think just having so much fun, just the brotherhood we have on the team this year, just all being in there for each other, not worried about your personals, not being selfish, but just knowing that whatever we're going through it together, and it's to better us for the end of the year to win those games down the stretch in November and in the playoffs.
Coach George has talked about how you guys have had the install done for a while, and so kind of tweaking things now. What goes into that and making sure that you guys are where you need to be come kickoff in the season?
Yeah, with us practicing early in spring, we obviously got the install done fast in the winter, and then you go through spring, and then you tweak it a little bit for OTAs, then you come back in the summer, you reinstall it with tweaks, and then you come back in camp, and you basically start from square one, the finalized version of it. So it's good to just know everything ahead of time, and then now it's basically just tweaking a bunch of stuff, different verbiage, different techniques, but I'm really comfortable where we're at with the install. I mean, I love the defense we have, and I think we're running it really good right now.
Why do you love it so much?
I think it's a lot of fun. There's movements, there's head up, playing base defense where you're getting after it and you're getting gritty. I think we can do so many different things from so many different looks. I think we can do a lot of things from one look. It's just you can switch it up so much, and at the same time it allows us to just go play fast.
You personally, you've played a lot of different defenses, done a lot of different things since you've been here, but what is it about what Coach Orich is bringing here that fits you and your style?
Yeah, I like how, I'm a true D tackle now. I think I talked about it at the beginning of camp, getting away from that 3-down stuff now to the true 4-down. I love playing interior, knowing my job. I'm really playing from a head-up nose out to a 3, and just getting to be able to really, I feel like that's where I fit my game, my body style and how I am as an athlete, so I really like to just get to hone in on that.
Last year voted a single-digit guy. How do you feel like you've grown as a leader from this time a year ago to where you are right now?
Yeah, I think leadership is something we work on all year round. Just not even guys who are voted single digits or captains or whatnot, just everybody in the team. I think everybody has a leadership role in some aspect. So just kind of work on who I am. I think the biggest thing with being a leader is you have to do it right when nobody's looking, and you can't be scared to be held accountable. So if you're going to go out there and hold somebody else accountable, you better expect that they do it to you. And that's something we do a great job as a team, is just no matter who it is, we're going to hold you that standard we have. And so, I'm kind of the same person I've always been. I try to be quiet. I'll say stuff when it needs to, but I like to just, how I was raised, to just do the work and let it be seen.
You guys getting sick of playing each other yet?
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, and that's one thing this team does great. I think in the past you get sick, and I've gotten sick of it a lot sooner, but this team, it's so much fun to just get at it, go against Justin, Paul, Brendan, those guys every single day. It's making me better, it's making them better, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, we love to compete, and when Coach goes out there and puts the ball down, this team competes like no other, so that's been a lot of fun. But the weather's getting a little bit cooler. You're excited for it to get cooler and just start rolling into games.
How do you feel like the defensive line has held up against this offensive line?
Yeah, I think we're having great practices. I think they're having great practices, and that's something we talk about all the time. Is like, that's what you want out of a good football team. It's going to go one way one day, and then it's going to go the other way the next day, and that means you're getting better. It means you're helping each other get better, and so it's been a lot of fun. The defense has been playing great, especially up front in the box. How we've approached stopping the run, improving from last year. We know that was a weakness last year, and they've really put an emphasis on that in the spring. So I think we're doing a great job from that aspect, and then also getting after the passer. So just rushing the passer has been a lot of fun, kind of opening it up and just rushing a little bit different styles.
Which probably isn't easy with these quarterbacks, rushing the quarterback.
No, it's definitely a lot different. It's a blessing, but then it's a curse for us in practice. It's a lot of fun going against Ant, though. He's one of my really good friends, and so just getting to talk to him off the field all the time is amazing. But then going after him on the field, it's tricky. You get back there and you look up, you're like, oh, crap. He's a lot faster than I am, so it's just trying to hold my speed, keep him contained. But I think it helps us a lot because we're going to play a lot of quarterbacks who can run, and we've done a good job at containing that, so we have to keep that up.
Switching up the schedule from what you're used to, kind of practicing at night here moving forward. I talked to you in the spring. You're like, I think it might need to adjust it a little bit, but how do you guys like the change, and how do you think it's going to be beneficial?
Yeah, in the spring, I probably wasn't a fan. I was like, dang, I had my routine for 3 years. I wanted to stick with it, but I'm starting to like it a lot more. Just go through the day, get to relax. I think my body's more awake at night. I absolutely love waking up, practicing, getting done in the mornings, but doing it at night's also a lot of fun because when you're done, you're just done for the night. You get to go home and relax. But like I said, I feel more awake, I feel more alert, and I feel like I just play better football.
All right, last thing for your day-to-day, what needs to happen for this defense, again, to be where you guys want to be?
Yeah, I think just not get comfortable. I think it's simple, basic stuff. You don't get comfortable where you're at. You look for something to improve on every day, whether it's technique, whether it's on your assignment, whether it's effort. I think, you got to come out there with an attitude and an effort every time we step on that field to be the defense we want to be. And at the end of the day, it's not going to come down to X's and O's. It's going to be that mentality you have when you cross those white lines.
Great stuff with Riley Van Poppel and Jessica Coody, that conversation. And fall camp, there's a lot of competitions going on and a lot of intensity, and they've tried to recreate what that game day experience is going to be like. And before you know it, we will get to that game day. September 5th is the start of the season. Nebraska against Ohio. Frank Solich's old stomping grounds where he was the head coach. He'll be honored the night before at the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. So it'll be a special day for Frank Solich as well. Jay Moore will join me along with Jessica Coody, the entire crew, Ben McLaughlin, Matt Coatney. Husker Game Day starts at 7 a.m. We hope that you can join us on the Huskers Radio Network. An hour of Sports Nightly is coming up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Nebraska football fans know what it takes to be the best. You've got to handle the heat, power through the cold,
Read the pressure. Same goes for the techs at John Henry's. They're trusted to perform when it's all on the line. When winter's driving hard and your furnace fumbles. When your thermostat is in the red zone. When the power goes out before the final whistle. Make the easy call.
Call 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
And electrical.
Sports Nightly is powered by McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal. Since 1981, Nebraska homeowners and businesses have trusted McInnes for roofing, siding, windows, gutters, custom sheet metal, and repairs. Whether you're protecting your home, improving curb appeal, or planning a commercial project, their experienced team delivers quality craftsmanship and dependable service from start to finish. When your property needs expert care, choose the local name Nebraska has trusted for more than 45 years. And now, the official roofing partner of the Huskers. Discover the McInnes difference at McInnesinc.com.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Chevy. Explore our limited time offers available now. Lease the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Cab 4x4 for $449 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Or save up to $10,000 off MSRP on all retired courtesy 2026 Silverado 1500s. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive. With approved credit, retired courtesy loan, tax, title, license extra. First payment and $299 doc fee due at sign-in. Must trade a 2015 or newer vehicle. Must finance through dealer and based upon available rebates. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Good evening. I'm Emery Evans, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Nebraska cornerback Danny Odom III has been named to the preseason watch list for the Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year award. The true freshman is one of 37 players nationally up for the honor. Semifinalists will be announced November 3rd, with the winner named December 28th. Nebraska's men's tennis has released its fall schedule, headlined by hosting the ITA Regional Tournament in Lincoln. The Huskers also travel to Creighton Invite and the Big Ten Individual Tournament. Full schedule and information can be found at huskers.com. The NFL is eliminating the Pro Bowl games. The league will still name 88 Pro Bowlers each year through fan, player, and coach voting. Instead of a flag football game, honorees will be invited to an in-person celebration in Los Angeles this February. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal, helping homeowners and businesses protect what matters most for over 45 years.
Infield and outfield straight up. Plumlee comes set on course at 2-1. Fastball is drilled in the air. Deep left field. There it goes. See ya! First career home run for Jeter Worthley. Comes in a massive moment. It's 2-0 Big Red.
Served by Olivia straight ahead to the back right. Clinton guides it to her setter. Gets it back. Swings. Big block. Harper Murray. 25-21. Nebraska survives the second set.
8 gets switched on. Deep left side. Weaver. 3 seconds to shoot. Deep left side. 1 on the shot clock. Hargroves. 3. You betcha. A buzzer-beating Central Valley 8-3 by Amaya Hargrove.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome in, everybody. With Kyle Crooks, I'm Jessica Coody. We coming back from practice, but good stuff there with Coach Rule.
Yeah, it's good to talk with him. Good to see him. It signifies the start of. I feel like we've had a million things that have signified the start of the new football season. We use that line a lot, but it means that we are back. We are ready to go with the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. That rhymed, by the way.
Yes.
I didn't even try that.
You should make that the liner or something.
Dr. Seuss, they call me.
I think he's ready to play a game. And not
I'm ready to call a game.
Yeah.
Do we have to talk more lawsuits today, or can we just avoid it?
More lawsuits?
By the way, no Pro Bowl anymore. I think that should start the show.
Are you devastated?
I'm actually cried.
Go cry tonight?
When Emery said that, I cried.
Yeah. Obviously, the ratings have not been great.
For the Pro Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think the ratings are good. I just think they just don't want it. The players don't want to do it.
The players don't want to do it.
They don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it became a skills competition.
I don't think the ratings are good.
I think they still are just because it's football.
I don't know. I think they've gone down.
I could look it up.
But anyways, but lots has unfolded. I guess lots have unfolded in terms of pro players playing college sports here over the last 24 hours.
I heard Tom Brady was at practice today. He was playing quarterback.
Oh, he was?
So I think he's coming back. Sorry, Anthony.
The SEC they have come out and put some pretty strict guidelines on there, and then also punishments. So 50% of suspension for head coaches and 50% of that sports annual operating budget if they field a pro athlete.
Yeah, where do you go from there if you're LSU?
50% of the budget.
50% of your budget. There's nowhere to go. They gave Greg Sankey, the league did, the SEC, unilateral power, which some commissioners have, don't have, what have you. By the way, Petiti got signed to a contract extension on the flip side with the Big Ten today. But those are significant punishments. The next step here for potentially LSU, who not just with football, they had the 2 guys that were in camps that they wanted to bring back, but basketball as well was trying to sign somebody who had been in the NBA with Will Wade. So they're going full heel, as they like to say in wrestling. But there's no way, unless you bring this back to the courts.
Which it probably will.
But you do that, Sankey still has, no matter if you get them eligible, and the court ruling says they can play, Sankey, I would assume, can still do all this. So you could put him on the field, but you're going to face the consequences.
You know what's tough for those players that are joining college teams. The NFL, according to Adam Schefter, they're going to inform teams that any player who returns to college will be prohibited from signing with an NFL team this season.
Yeah, you can't come back the same year. You'll have to sit out a year. So Daquan Wright and the center, I forget his name. I think Harris was his last name. Those guys can't go back to try and get on an NFL roster. And if you talk to people that are in the know, whether it's agents or people around the NFL, that's not a good thing to have attached to you, that you're just going to leave the NFL and try to get back into college. And I know you want to be a trendsetter in some ways, but that's not good. If you want to be a professional and be in the league and that's your long-term goal, your profile takes a hit when you do something like this.
The Big 12 also coming out and saying that they're going to ban all pro athletes. So it's kind of like everybody, like we were saying before we went on the air, everybody's trying to one-up each other and how their verbiage is.
I think the ACCs, they might just ban everybody. Pros, like they're all just trying to one-up each other. I think that's the funny thing. So the Big Ten was the first to it. The Big Ten, Troy had said in our meeting that they were going to meet that afternoon. That was yesterday. And all the ADs met. They came up with the ruling that NFL players are banned from coming back and playing in the Big Ten. And the SEC comes out and says, well, we're going to do the NFL and the NBA. The Big 12 comes out today, and, well, if you even sniffed pros, you're not able to play at college. So, and then the ACC, the Pac-12, which is a league again, I think the funny thing is, I don't know if the Mountain West or some of these other Group of 5 leagues have come out. They should just let them all come back and play. They'd all have an advantage, right, at this point.
No, that'd be something. Jeremiah Searles, who is an agent as well, and obviously is privy to a lot of the information that goes on both sides of it. He's been in the NFL. He knows how those contracts work and been in NFL locker rooms, but then is also, is an agent for college kids, for NFL kids. But he's going to be on for the Sideline Slice on Monday. I'm going to talk to him about it, but I know it happened pretty quickly, and I'm sure a couple of the guys thought, well, I can make more money if I go back to college. But it's almost like they kind of got a little bit of bad advice, just maybe pulling the trigger a little too quickly, because now what are they going to do for a year? Train?
There's so much bad advice going around. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bad actors in this. That's why the NIL world has exploded to what it is, rev share world, but you have a lot of players that are out trying to get deals, but they don't have certified agents. Whether it's family members giving them bad advice, or it's bad actors that are agents that aren't certified, that are taking 15, 20% from their clients and telling them to do certain things because it benefits them, not the player. So there's a lot of things that are putting player A, player B, or just putting them in incredibly bad spots. I don't see there's any way possible that now specifically those 2 LSU players that came back from NFL teams are going to get a chance to play, and now they're sitting with scarlet letters on their foreheads and not able to play football for a year. How's that going to make them attractive a year from now to the NFL?
And again, whether they were going to make a roster or not, we went through what a practice squad player makes, which is pretty good chunk of change. We went through what the league minimum is. We were talking to Jay Moore about this off the air, but it just, again, I understand that sometimes for some athletes, it's more to come back to college, but was it worth the risk now of kind of jeopardizing what your pro career looks like?
I just don't see, I see the end game for Lane Kiffin. He can wash his hands of it, be fine. He still has 5 stars up and down the roster. He's got the quarterback. He's got, he's going to have a chance to be a playoff team this year. And Lane's defense is, well, if I don't do it, then perhaps Ole Miss is going to do it, or Texas and Oklahoma, Florida. Those schools are going to take these professional players. But I would imagine like Lane thought this would be the ending to all of this. There's no way that the individual leagues would have let this happen. We've always said this. There have been lines in the sand throughout this summer. There's been so many stories we talked about. Sorsby, they stepped over the line. They did a somersault over the line, and then we finally got some common sense. We jumped on a trampoline and we leapt over the line with pro players coming back. there's a few issues here where we got common sense. That's why this College Sports Act, and Troy Dana, when he was in here earlier this week, if it doesn't pass through the Senate, there's still a base for the common sense of what college sports has to trend to.
You know, we keep talking about the Protect College Sports Act, and it's not going to get implemented anytime soon, I don't think. I mean, we're looking at the very least, a month away, even just to go through. And
September 15th or the 20-something is when they can next vote on it.
Mm-hmm. So, and it kind of fell apart there at the end with people having some pushback on it. But the agent situation, I know there were some things in there to address, maybe trying to rein that in a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like what happened over the last couple of days where the conference is coming out and saying, all right, we'll do our own thing. If the NCAA is not going to do it, if people are going to keep suing them, we're going to have these issues. Here comes the SEC, here comes the Big Ten just making their own parameters.
Well, remember last year, Alabama it was a big who came back from the NBA, from the G League, and he played in a couple games, and then that whatever the court ruling was got overturned, so he wasn't able to come back and play. So we've seen some elements of this, at least last year, in college basketball, that coaches are going to do whatever they can to win. I just think, Jess, the pressure has never been higher to win at these institutions. The money has never been greater, and that's why I don't necessarily blame Lane Kiffin for at least trying this avenue, but the fallout and the reality of the fallout for these two players and what might be on the horizon for their careers can take a maybe it won't, but it could take a significant hit for them moving forward.
I wonder, though, if this kind of sets the parameters, the stage for the conferences stepping in and kind of, okay, we're going to take it into our own hands now.
Each conference, that's what we've seen. It's like each conference has to do their own law and order. And that's because the NCAA is so lost in all this. They have no teeth. They're so far behind, and they're trying to break up all these small fires all over the place, and they're trying to regain some sort of traction, some sort of footing, and they just don't have a prayer because they let all this explode to what it is now because they weren't out in front of NIL, and then it became the Wild Wild West and this player empowerment movement, which is great, but it swung so far in the other direction, and the NCAA had no handle on a plan of what this should look like, and now here we are.
Look, and we're all going to tune in. We're all going to be all about college football when it kicks off. Well, week 0, which we're going to be making picks this week for the first time. It's still, the greatest sport, and we're all going to tune in, and the ratings are going to be smashed, but it's getting out of control, and I'm afraid for what the consequences are going to be to other sports outside of football.
I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty for a lot of the other sports, right? And professional athletes or maybe guys that left college baseball and are playing in the minors and maybe don't want to find their way back, or softball, same thing. So, it's not just football, basketball. It's a lot of different sports that are affected by this. And a lot of things like we just saw, as we're on the air now, Callan Hake with, exploring her 5th year with Oklahoma State. She signs with Oklahoma State, but who knows? Like a week from now, is she still going to be able to play? That's the uncertainty that all these athletes are dealing with right now.
Yep. I don't think the news is done yet. Sorry, Kyle. I know you're ready to be done talking about the lawsuits and all these things that are unfolding, but I think we're going to continue to see it because all this did was stop the professional athletes. You still have those 5th year, those athletes that played their 4 years, like a Callan Hake you just mentioned, which Oklahoma State shelled out some money.
Yeah,
they got Audie Crooks from Iowa State. They're probably going to be one of the favorites in the Big 12.
Liv McGill, who is with Florida, they're both making over reportedly $1 million. I mean, that's $2 million in 2 players.
Oklahoma State invested in their women's basketball team.
There's not a lot of investment in women's hoops like what Oklahoma State's doing. So Callan Hake, you could see here in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament pop up on ESPN playing in an Elite 8 this year.
And she's going to help them, but again, that's still as a part of the other kind of lawsuits that are unfolding about those players. But Callan didn't go play pro. She didn't go overseas. And so that's why she's able to do this, and those other athletes are still moving forward because there's still lawsuits and litigation taking place. It's allowing.
I love good litigation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I should have been a lawyer.
With lawyers.
That's your Oklahoma twang.
Well, you stole my read, so I'll just have to do Woodhouse here. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Got to get to a break. Going to talk some Husker volleyball coming up next.
Find your next vehicle at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $13,000 off MSRP on the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500. Visit us in store or shop online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must finance with dealer, must own and trade in a 2012 or newer passenger vehicle. Tax, title, license extra. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. Stock number V260747. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, while you're making plans for Saturdays this fall, make sure you're also planning ahead for Husker Hoops. Nebraska women's basketball season tickets are on sale now. Be there all season long at Pinnacle Bank Arena for big matchups, big moments, and all the excitement of Nebraska women's basketball. Get your season tickets today by visiting huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Every year, Nebraska comes together. Across small towns, big cities, living rooms, and stadium seats, one thing connects us all. It's more than athletics. It's community. It's tradition. It's home. Allo is proud to keep connections strong with 100% fiber internet and hometown service built for Nebraskans. Stay connected to what matters with Allo Fiber, proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Summer's almost over, but with a new Toyota from Toyota's National Sales Event, you can turn your end of summer scaries into end of summer woes. In the mood for some elevated dining? Pack a picnic into a 4Runner and hit up a stunning mountain vista.
Whoa!
Haul a bouncy castle in a tundra and get crowned the coolest dad at the park.
Whoa! I'm king of the castle!
Drive a Tacoma to the lake to go wakeboarding.
Whoa! That was awesome air. Let's go again.
Or take a BZ to an amusement park with friends. Keep your woes going this summer in a new Toyota.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers. Schedule a free inspection. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Nebraska football fans know what it takes to be the best. You've got to handle the heat, power through the cold, read the pressure. Same goes for the techs at John Henry's. They're trusted to perform when it's all on the line. When winter's driving hard and your furnace fumbles. When your thermostat is in the red zone. When the power goes out before the final whistle. Make the easy call.
Call 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs Equipment, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, providing the equipment, parts, and service that keep agriculture moving forward. Akrs Equipment, proud partner of Husker Nation. Learn more at akrs.com. Welcome back to Sports Night with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Guess what? I got it memorized.
Akrs.
Yep, the new one.
How about it? I'll have to talk to my people over there. We'll get it changed.
No, let's not, because I already forgot the mower season one. All right, so we got Husker volleyball tomorrow. How about that?
Look at me. I'm solo on the camera. How about that?
Now I'm solo.
I'm excited for it. By the way, I saw the pictures of them getting on the charter plane. So this is, wow, we're really doing well on the camera there. I saw them traveling here for, not traveling here, traveling to Dallas, but traveling as a team for the first time. So for them, I'm sure they're fired up because this is where the memories are made, right? And these some of these road trips be unique. I don't know if they know the format of how this thing's going to work yet, but
I feel like it's changed. There's different schedules, but hey, we do know we got Spikes Under the Lights, and Nebraska's supposed to play, I think officially maybe 7:06 is first serve.
it sounds right.
But I've seen like Lauren Michelson, who's with KETV, is down there, and she posted a couple things, so you can see the volleyball setup inside the stadium. I'm so fascinated to see what it looks like.
I haven't seen that. She took a picture of the court?
Yeah, well, there's videos on social of what it looks like inside. So
yeah, I'm excited. The TV product and what that's going to look like. Again, it's on TNT tomorrow, but you should mute it and then sync up the app. Or if you're listening,
is this the first ever volleyball game on TNT?
Probably.
College volleyball, probably.
Yeah.
So
I'd say so. I don't think because they've had broadcast deals with the Pac-12, but I think those are been all football and basketball. I don't think it's been any other sport.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun to see how it all looks. And again, got some good teams that are participating in this. The second match is going to be really intriguing with SMU and Penn State. SMU swept Texas A&M. They've already got a game under their belt, but I think it's 10 versus 11 in that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to earn it on this road trip
to win $1 million. You're going to have to earn that $1 million.
Who wants to be a millionaire, as I like to say. It's a nice little show. I might come up with that.
We should have played that at the interns foray,
which I wasn't invited to.
You got kicked out.
I was looking
You weren't good enough at Jeopardy.
That's right. I'm looking at the Spikes Under the Lights here. They have the full Cowboys field is out. The field turf is still laid down, but it's on a stage of some sort, the court, between like the 40s on the field. But the actual end zones, the full field is laid out. So if you're in attendance, you'll see the full Cowboys field, and then there's the big video board that if you're in attendance, you probably watch most of it off of anyway.
It's hard not to have your eyes get drawn up to that, even if you have a great seat. It's just still massive. But
I wonder how many tickets they sold. We'll find out.
I'm sure I don't know. I don't know if it's out there or not. But all right. Well, we want to talk a little bit more Husker volleyball. Get you set for the weekend. Had a chance to chat with associate head coach Jaylen Reyes as a part of this week's episode of The Dig. So wanted to play you a portion of it here tonight. Well, it is time. We've got Spikes Under the Lights on Thursday, which will be a fun event. And then you've got UNLV in Texas coming up this weekend. It's here. Are you guys ready? Are you ready?
I would say this. I know we're ready to play somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it feels
I feel like some of the players were saying that after the red-white scrimmage.
Yeah,
like, we're done playing each other.
Right. And then, then we proceed to have like 12 more days of practice until we play somebody else, So we're definitely ready to play somebody else. I think we're ready to see kind of what these events are going to look like too, just because we feel like, and I know volleyball has kind of started those last couple of years, but these big venue, big city events, big venue, big market events that, we've done in the past, but now we're really going to do a bunch of them here leading up, and then kind of seeing how these events go, and hopefully it can kind of drive the sport. So I know we're definitely ready for those things. In terms of the opponents, it's always funny when you start the year, you're trying to like guesstimate what people are going to do or who's going to play. I know there's a few teams that have played some matches, like Texas has played 2 already, but for the most part, Florida, who we're going to open up with on Thursday, they've not played a match. They have a bunch of new players, so it's just exciting. I mean, obviously, we do love spending time on ourselves, but it's exciting to finally, all this work we've been doing, we can kind of road test it and see how's the training, what we need to work on, and kind of where we're at this time of the year, even though it is the beginning of the season.
You're a big sports guy, all sports guy. Are you kind of nerding out a little bit, playing in Wrigley and Jerry World?
Yeah. I mean, I think Jerry World's going to be pretty cool. You know, we were talking off air about the Jumbotron. I think one of the first things I'm going to do is try to hit a sky ball up to it. I think, and I believe, I'm not sure exactly what time we play, but I'm always the one thing I'm kind of worried about, depending on the time, just being a sports fan and watching Cowboys. The Cowboys always have like that afternoon Sunday window game on Fox usually. That glare that climbs in through the stadium, you know. So volleyball, that could be a big deal depending on what side you're on. So I'm actually intrigued if that glare is going to play into it. And people are like, "What glare are you talking about?" So my first response is, "Well, you clearly have never watched a Cowboys game before," you know. So no, I'm really excited. Like getting to go to, I mean, probably one of the coolest, you know, stadiums in the world in terms of how, you know, all the stadium with all the bells and whistles on it, obviously, like AT&T Stadium in Dallas, and then getting to go to Wrigley Field where it's super obviously authentic and probably two stadiums that couldn't be any more different from each other, but like have the same level of awesomeness in their own way. Kind of really, really fired up for that, you know, like to go through like the tunnel the Cowboys walk out of. And then I do wish, selfishly, I wish that the volleyball court at Wrigley was going to be closer into the infield, because I kind of wanted to coach the match from the dugout and give it like the Will Bolt baseball lean, you know. I wish we could have done that, but I think we're going to be kind of more in the outfield. So, but I was kind of excited. Like, I kind of want to coach a game from a dugout. That'd be kind of cool, you know.
You can't mess up the mound, right?
Yeah. Oh no, you know. So
I was there this summer, and I was thinking in my mind, I'm like watching this baseball game. I'm like, this is the stadium for Husker volleyball this fall.
No,
I mean,
so
it's just in my mind. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
That
And it's just awesome to see that, you know, these companies and these venues, like there's some value in what we're doing. And I'd like to think those stadiums, they're not just, hey, we're just going to pick some random teams or some random events. We're going to pick something that brings a cool environment to a pretty awesome venue. And, you know, how lucky are we that we get to be the ones that kind of showcase and headline, I would say, these two events.
Really fun. And I know, like you said, excited to play somebody else. So overall, how do you feel about where this team's at heading into kind of the opening weekend?
I think we're in a pretty good space. You know, we've gotten a lot better since we've started. You know, we made an emphasis on serving. I think, I actually think every one of our players is a better server than when we started at the end of July. Numbers wise, you know, we can be a little bit better attacking, but we're pretty good defensively. That's like the hard part, right? Is when you just look at numbers compared to what you do against yourselves in practice or the red-white, sometimes it's, maybe we're not as good at offense, but is that just really good defense by us, right? And it's, if something goes right, that means something else went wrong. So that's part of the reason why I'm really fired up to see and know where we're at. Playing against another team, getting all the players on one side of the net and seeing all the work that we've put in. How does it go against another team? But I like where we're at. You know, it's just one of those things where now at the end of the day, we have to go out there and do it. You know, I think we've had a really, really good week. Last 10 days or so has been pretty high level, especially kind of coming from everybody, because I feel like the level in the gym is really turned up. And now we kind of get to unleash it on some other teams, which is going to be kind of fun and exciting at the same time.
Do you get more excited for offensive stats or defensive stats? Like when you're handed a stat sheet, what's your eyes?
Where does my eye go to? Wow. Okay. I think I'm the defensive guy on the staff. So I do feel though, my eyes go straight to our hitting numbers. And I also coach the pin attackers. So it's kind of, you know, I mean, volleyball, for those who don't know, there's a lot of overlap. It's not, hey, Jaylen, you don't coach the middles. You never talk to the middle blockers, right? I'm coaching defense, so I kind of work with the middles as well. But I would say my eye does go to our attacking stats. So maybe that's why there's a little of me that's, hey, we're really good defensively right now, but is that bad offense? Is that just better defense? Is that, depending on the day, is it somewhere in between? so for me right now, it's just hard to like gauge. And this is not a trying to be humble PR answer, trying to keep our expectations down. I'm actually genuinely interested to see like where we're at right now, you know? And the fact that we get to come out and play, you know, we'll play Florida for sure, which is a ranked team. Hopefully we get to play either Penn State or SMU, that second one. And then UNLV is going to be a good team in their own city. And obviously Texas is Texas. So we're going to get to play, you know, 3 or 4 really, really good teams this week. So we really get to see kind of where we're at and what we need to get better at. And I think that's the part I'm looking forward to the most, is kind of seeing how we do stack up against other people and what we need to work on kind of as we go into this non-conference season and then headed into Big Ten play.
Okay, I want to quickly run through some of your players. You know, last week we had Brendan on, and I know you guys have talked about how we might not see Andy Jackson's best volleyball when she's playing in college. But, you know, you talk about one of the best players in the sport. Also can be said the same for Harper Murray. So how do you go about approaching, okay, how are you going to get better this season?
Yeah, I think all 4 of the seniors, part of them getting better is being able to like show leadership, kind of challenging them each day to, there's a standard here, and can you practice and bring the same effort and energy every day? That's how you maintain the standard. But then by you doing that, it teaches the younger players, right? When you guys were the younger players, you guys followed some people. Now you're the older players. So now that's part of your job, along with your statistics and what you're doing in your part of the game. But now it's like you're almost responsible for other people. So like that's challenge number 1, and that's really hard. And then, you know, when our younger players in 3 or 4 years, they become the older players, then they have that same responsibility too. Speaking of Harper specifically, right, can she be a little more terminal in out of system situations? There's parts of their games where I don't know, you know, I'm sure Brendan was in here talking about Andy and talking about her serve, right? So I think people are going to see like an improved serve from Andy Jackson this year. I think it's going to lead to a lot more aces. It's going to lead to some errors, but it's going to lead to this like aggressiveness that we want to play with. We're asking Harper to do the same thing, but more in terms of like when the ball is not coming from Bergen on the net, it's out of system. It's coming from all over the gym. It's not after a good pass. Can she be like more terminal in those situations and be more aggressive? There's parts of all of their games that we're kind of taking apart and like, okay, we're really good here. Obviously you need to maintain, but for us to get to where we need to get to, we need to do X, Y, and Z a little bit better. Maybe we're already good at it, but we need to become great at it.
Taria Sigler is a name that I feel like everybody's talking about, that she won the Lifter of the Year award. What are you seeing out of her that maybe she's taking a jump going into year 2?
Yeah, I think as an attacker, you know, most Husker fans out there saw her more do like the back row stuff, passing. She hit a little bit. But for the most part, like she's become a more versatile attacker out of the back row. She's been pretty good. In the front row, being able to hit the ball with a ton of range. And what I mean by range is being able to hit the ball hard all over the court, and not usually you get to high level D1 if you can hit it hard and get really good at one shot. But like what allows you to play at this level for a long period of time is being able to hit like a bunch of different shots, being able to hit line, be able to hit angle, be able to kill the ball off the block, be able to kill the ball around the block, being able to throw it, being able to roll shot it, being able to kill the ball in so many different ways. I think that's one thing that if I'm being honest right now, T's probably doing the best at on the team, being able to score in a bunch of different ways. And it's not just always closing your eyes and hitting the ball as hard as you can. Not, you know, the phrase is like spray and pray. You know, she's not necessarily having to do that, but she's being able to like tactically attack the block, tactically attack the defense, and not just rely on, I'm just going to jump high and hit hard all the time. That's important, but can I jump high, hit hard, but maybe it requires me to hit hard here versus here in this situation. So, yeah, I mean, she's just becoming more of a like well-rounded volleyball player. She's definitely in the top 3 or 4 players now on our team in terms of like, hey, who's the best volleyball players on your team? T is definitely kind of firmly, in my opinion, in the top 2 or 3 now.
Again, Associate Head Coach Jaylen Reyes is a part of the Dig, which is powered by Emeritus. You can listen to that full conversation on our podcast platforms, our YouTube channel as well. But just listening to him break down the depth, they're going to have to figure out some rotation because they've got, just like every other position, a lot of depth, and there's only a limited number of spots out there.
I wonder if how much you show in terms of what lineups you play, if that doesn't come about until the actual start of the season. Like, how much are you showing in, presumably, if you win, you get 2 matches or the 1 match? How much are you showing into what your tactics are, what your lineup is?
Well, and Danny has said they're going to play a lot of people, but, he made it sound like I talked to him yesterday, and they were still kind of in conversations on what they want to do in terms of rotation and what kind of looks they want before going into it. I think with an opportunity like this and playing on this stage, they want to give all those players this kind of opportunity. So I think you'll see a lot of players play on.
Again, there's $1 million on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to split it up, right? But there's $1 million on the line. So you're certainly playing for something, and you want to win the event. If you're in an event, you want to win it, especially when you're the number 1 team in the country. You want to assert your dominance. You want to send a message across the country. And, it's interesting. There has been some teams that have played already, like Jaylen mentioned. A&M has gotten off to, I think they've lost 2 matches already, right? The defending national champs. So A&M's gotten off to somewhat of a shaky start, and they're playing matches that matter right now. But I would venture to guess that Nebraska, they're gonna play everybody, but their depth is as good as anybody in the country. So you're not going to have a big fall off.
All right, got to get to a break. Coming up next, we're going to hear from the freshman tight end, Luke Sorensen. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play, knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is right around the corner. We need you in the Sea of Red this fall. Be in Memorial Stadium for the home opener on Saturday, September 5th, as the Huskers take on Ohio. Tickets start at just $50 and are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football versus Ohio tickets, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Summer's almost over, but with a new Toyota from Toyota's National Sales Event, you can turn your end of summer scaries into end of summer woes. In the mood for some elevated dining? Pack a picnic into a 4Runner and hit up a stunning mountain vista.
Whoa!
Haul a bouncy castle in a tundra and get crowned the coolest dad at the park.
Whoa! I'm king of the castle!
Drive a Tacoma to the lake to go wakeboarding.
Whoa! That was awesome air. Let's go again.
Or take a BZ to an amusement park with friends. Keep your woes going this summer in a new Toyota.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Cybersecurity is a fundamental component of today's business operations. It's not just an add-on, it's essential for business protection. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we know that cyber threats are always changing and require constant vigilance. That's why our team delivers real-time threat monitoring and advanced security protocols to safeguard your data and reputation. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we put security at the forefront of your success. Cybersecurity is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Planning for the 2027 crop year starts now with 1 year of 0% financing from Central Valley Ag. Qualified customers can get 0% financing on seed and seed treatment through CVA's Go Early Seed program. 0% financing on crop protection, intensive soil sampling, and aerial application. Enroll by October 16. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Drive into summer during the Woodhouse Ford Summer Sales Event. From family road trips to tackling the toughest jobs, a new Ford is ready for every mile ahead. For a limited time, receive $1,000 bonus cash plus a 2-year premium maintenance plan on select 2026 Ford models. Browse our inventory online or visit us in-store in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. 2-year premium maintenance plan includes 2 free oil changes. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
The Akrs Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs Equipment, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, providing the equipment, parts, and service that keep agriculture moving forward. Akrs Equipment, proud partner of Husker Nation. Learn more at akrs.com. Speaking of Akrs, we've been doing practice reports throughout fall camp and now leading into the first game, and I had a chance to chat with the freshman tight end Luke Sorensen as a part of an Akrs practice report. It's time for another practice report presented by Akrs. I'm Jessica Coody here with the freshman tight end, Luke Sorensen. Well, fall camp is in the books, your first one. How did it go for you?
I think it went very well. It was definitely an adjustment, coming from high school, but
it's time for another practice report presented by Akrs. I'm Jessica Coody here with the freshman tight end, Luke Sorensen. Well, fall camp is in the books, your first one. How did it go for you?
I think it went very well. It was definitely an adjustment, coming from high school, but it was very intense, and that speaks to the level of our program. So I think it was just it was a great experience for me. It was a great experience being in the dorms, seeing how the older guys handled it and how they responded, So it was a great time.
You were around a little bit during bowl practices and then throughout the spring. So how prepared did you feel to go at this fall camp thing for the first time?
I definitely am glad that I was there early. I was one of the first freshmen there. I think that really helped me out because, being here for spring ball in the spring game, that was the first time that I was in pads, and I was, that was my first taste of contact at the college level. So it's like those, welcome to college football moments. I had plenty of those, So it was definitely nice to be able to come in here already have an idea of how the practices are like, and just be able to play a little more free.
Do you have one of those that immediately come to mind, the welcome to college football moment?
There's definitely been a couple, There's one where there was one of my guys, K. Petchak, he handled me pretty well. But you know what? It happens to the best of us. You just got to play the next play and move on.
Hey, Kate's good at that, so that's okay.
Yeah, it speaks to the level of our defense, so I'm cool with that.
The tight ends that have been here, because you're the young guy in the room, have all talked about how you don't seem like a freshman. What role has a guy like Luke Lindenmeyer, Carter Nelson, those guys, how have they helped you kind of move along and maybe be further ahead than what they expected?
I think that, physically they really helped me along because, I was a 17, I just turned 18, a week ago. So it's like, being a 17-year-old kid in the middle of college football, it's like mentally you already have enough stuff going on, trying to figure the playbook out. You're in a new environment. I think that physically, just them help me understand, all right, technique and hand placement and, in the route game, getting in and out of my breaks. So that really helped me along. And then physically in the weight room, that's just how I've been. I love the weight room.
Yeah, I was going to say they've talked about how you've been physically ahead, probably the number one guy in the room, but that's been something you've always loved to do, right? You're kind of a gym rat, right?
Yeah, I mean, it honestly didn't start that way. I was always a skinnier kid, and I was just tired of being skinny. I was like, I got to put some weight on. So then, I had a very good mentor and a high school strength coach who really helped me out in the weights, Coach Chandler. So he was very knowledgeable, and then I think me just having a great group of guys to work around really just elevates me.
So how much did you enjoy what Corey Campbell and his staff does? How much do you enjoy kind of working with those guys?
I mean, I love it. I couldn't ask for better, strength staff. Couldn't ask for a better group of mentors to kind of help me around. So they push me every day to my limits. They call me out when I'm not there. They say when I am there. So I just really appreciate all of it.
Well, how have you liked kind of settling in and getting to learn this offense with Coach Holgerson?
I think my biggest thing was, in the spring, it was clear that I didn't know what I was doing completely. Like, I was still learning the playbook. I obviously hadn't been there for that long, but my thing was, if I can play fast, then my physical traits, my speed, my size, my strength, that all comes into play. Like how twitchy I am. I can't run a route if I don't know what depth and what to do against this coverage. I can't be twitchy with that. I think now that I'm understanding the coverages better, understanding the fronts, it's like, all right, I can just play now. Now it's like getting to that second nature point.
Saw you make a big play the other day. I mean, I haven't been out here every day, but it seems like you've developed quite the relationship with the quarterbacks, too. How has that kind of developed for you here over the last few months?
Oh, I mean, I love the quarterbacks. Obviously, every tight end loves their quarterback, but I always got a soft spot in my heart for them just because, like, first of all, they're a great group of guys. They're all, Ant and TJ and Bodie and Danny Kaelin, like, they're all just guys I love to hang around. We hang out on the weekends and go fish, play golf, whatever. But it's like they're very competitive and they want to make the plays and they want to be better. It's like everyone out there is always striving to take it to that next level. And I really appreciate guys staying after me to throw, staying after me to work on X, Y, and Z. So that's always been a big part for me, is just after the work, dialing in that whatever 2 or 3 things from practice that I needed to go over.
How about the pass protection? How has that translated for you? I know that was something you were always initially comfortable with, but how different is it at this level?
I mean, it's like, it's everything's college. It's a lot bigger. No matter where you came. I came from one of probably the best high school league in the country, and it's a huge jump because you're playing against Sunday level guys. And so my thing was, okay, I know I'm physically strong enough to do it. It's technique, and it's I can get away with some things in high school with having bad technique. Now it's like everyone's good. Everyone was one of the best players in the high school, the best players in the state. So it's like, for me, I really just need to focus on my technique and my steps, because once I get those down and once then I can just react. And I'm a good reactful player.
All right, so at Fan Day, you had the mohawk. What happened with that?
Honestly, I love the mohawk, but I was like, before school starts, I gotta let everyone know I'm pretty crazy, but I'm not that crazy. And so, it may make a reappearance if the guys want it. But we'll see. I was like, it happened during fall camp. I was like, guys just being dudes, so might as well.
So you got to go through this in the spring, but how about now getting back to classes? How do you like balancing all that, plus playing this college football thing?
It was definitely a jump. I've always been a very academic kid, but now it's like certain classes where I'm just focusing on. So I'm a finance major. And so me going into the classes where there's 100-something people, it's definitely a weird learning environment, because I went to a small old boys Catholic school. There was like 20 kids in my class, so it's like, just learning how to navigate that. But I think it's going pretty well. I got some of my dogs in my class with me, Cloud and Puma, so it's always fun to sit next to him and figure it out together.
Last thing I got, just for you to potentially get on the field as a true freshman, what do you need to continue to do here throughout the next couple of weeks before the season starts?
I think the biggest thing for me is show that I have the technique able to do it. That's been one thing throughout fall camp that the coach has said to me, like, we need your technique to show up on tape, because, against guys like against Oregon and Indiana and Ohio State, like, you have to have technique, because those guys are just as strong, just as fast, and they have better technique because they've been doing it for years. So it's like, you got to be able to play faster and with technique. It's like, big thing for me is my hands are getting outside. It's like, I got to be able to shoot my hands and kind of rip their heart out. So.
Love it. Love to hear it. Great stuff. Again, the freshman tight end, Luke Sorensen, with a practice report presented by Akrs. They love that guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a strong dude, and he's going to play, maybe not this year. We'll see how it plays out, but 5-5, he can play some snaps this year. But we'll see down the line. He's a prospect that is going to be a part of that position room and be a big key of it.
Hy-Vee, where there is a helpful smile in every aisle, Hy-Vee proudly supports the Huskers. All right, got to get to a break. We're back to wrap up the show next.
Hey, Huskers, ready to put Nebraska at the top of the Big Ten? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood competition. Donate blood anywhere in the U.S. through December 5th and submit your donation. You'll score a limited edition tee, help save up to 3 lives, and move Nebraska one step closer to the $1 million prize for student and community health. Text Give Blood to 222-688 or visit big10.org/Abbott. Let's go Huskers.
There's no better way to celebrate America's 250th birthday than at a Husker football game. Be in Memorial Stadium for the official America 250 celebration as the Huskers take on Bowling Green on Saturday, September 12th. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. and tickets start at just $50. To purchase your Husker football versus Bowling Green tickets, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraska. We're connected by more than fiber. We're connected by traditions, by hometown pride, by the sea of red on game day, by generations of fans who know what it means to cheer together. Allo is proud to be the connection behind those moments, bringing families together, keeping communities close, and helping Nebraskans stay connected to what truly matters. Allo Fiber, connecting what matters. Proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
When it comes to your business running efficiently day to day, you rely on technology and a network that is secure, fast, and has measures in place to help prevent downtime. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we know firsthand that reliability is business. We work with businesses across the state to implement managed IT solutions that keep your business running securely. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Reliability is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back. Final few minutes left here of Sports Nightly. No show tomorrow night because we got Husker volleyball.
Again, I'm going to do my own show.
And which we all plan on them winning, that's going to be a marathon radio broadcast tomorrow.
Yes.
They will be on the air from pregame, starting at 6 o'clock through the match, and then JB will hold down the fort and Lauren, and then hopefully match 2, and yeah, all that fun stuff.
And then money. Maybe does John Baylor get any of that money?
Hopefully.
we gotta ask. We gotta see. I don't know. I assume John doesn't have an agent, but I could be his agent. I want to negotiate him into that
Kim
mill.
Pavelka's agent.
That's true. You
I
negotiated
negotiated a bobblehead deal. How many people can say that?
Not many. Did you get a bobblehead?
He's told me I'm getting one. And
have you gotten the bobblehead?
I don't think that they're here yet. Like, I don't think
they haven't been made yet.
I don't think so.
So maybe you negotiated
you can't rush
a deal
perfection, Kyle.
Does the deal actually exist that you negotiated?
He will get me a bobblehead.
Until I see those bobbleheads in the factory, you haven't negotiated
I'm going to text him right
anything.
after the show. Make sure he.
Tell me about multiple.
Kent will come through for me. I have full faith in Kent. Okay, so again, no show for us tomorrow. We will be back for a full 2 hours on Friday night.
Party show.
Are going to make some picks. College football picks, week 0. We've got college football.
It's time.
Next time we're on the air, it's like college football eve.
College football eve. Interesting. I like it. There is FCS tomorrow, by the way. If you're an FCS fan, which a lot of us are, and you have ESPN Plus, tomorrow is your day because Thursday belongs to the FCS. And then FBS is on Saturday. That's when you get North Carolina TCU as the headliner.
You know what else we have tomorrow?
What's that?
Soccer. Husker soccer.
It's Christopher Sullivan-Diaz on the Big
Chris
Big Ten Plus
and
call?
Hayden both will be on the call. Hayden's going to be on the sidelines. Yeah. So look at the HRN interns.
Who are they playing?
Omaha. There's a lot of Nebraska kids. Yes.
They are the Mavericks, right?
There's a lot of Nebraska kids, a lot of ties to Nebraska that are going to be on the field tomorrow. Maybe Hayden will have a report on that.
Hayden, do you know what you're going to report on right now? You know the stories? Oh, she knows.
Yeah.
CSD, the chart's done? They're all done.
So, big one out at Hibner, 7:05. So you can get on out there and watch that. And then hopefully we'll have reaction. We're going to put the interns to work. They're going to do some interviews out there.
Can you believe it? It's the interns are starting to fly. They're really starting.
We're proud. We are
the wings,
very
everything.
Proud. And then also speaking of Hibner, how about some flag football? We're going to hear from Liz Sowers on Friday as well.
I like it. I like all this. You're speaking my language right now.
So we'll have soccer, we'll have volleyball, we'll have football, and flag football all on Friday night. And picks.
Picks?
How about that for a Friday party show?
I think we should do an extra hour, but I can't make it, so I'll let you guys do it.
All right.
From 8 to 9.
I think the
Friday.
interns can handle it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, their wings are big now, so they're flying.
All right, we've got Emery, we've got Chris, we've got Lauren, we've got Hayden, we've got Camden, all in here tonight. Thanks for everybody helping. Enjoy volleyball tomorrow. We'll talk to you Friday night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Summer's almost over, but with a new Toyota from Toyota's National Sales Event, you can turn your end of summer scaries into end of summer woes. Whoas! In the mood for some elevated dining? Pack a picnic into a 4Runner and hit up a stunning mountain vista.
Whoa!
Haul a bouncy castle in a tundra and get crowned the coolest dad at the park.
Whoa! I'm king of the castle!
Drive a Tacoma to the lake to go wakeboarding.
Whoa, that was awesome, Aaron. Let's go again.
Or take a BZ to an amusement park with friends. Keep your woes going this summer in a new Toyota.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Technology isn't just a part of your business, it is your business. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we believe that the right technology tools make all the difference. From seamless phone systems to secure cloud solutions, we empower Nebraska businesses to stay connected, protected, and ahead of the competition. Your technology isn't an afterthought, it's your competitive edge. Let the official business IT partner of the Huskers show you how technology helps drive business success. Technology is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Right now at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get 0% APR for up to 84 months on all new 2026 Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L models during the Make This the Summer event. Or enjoy 10% off MSRP on all in-stock 2026 Ram 2500s and Ram 3500s. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Blair and Bellevue. With approved credit, tax title license extra when financed with Stellantis Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.